Hello. I grew up in Washington Park, and my parents still live there within a half mile of Allen's Ave. I remember the night that there was an explosion on Allen's Ave at one of the facilities when I was about 13. The whole sky lit up red and purple, and my parents and I watched on the porch. I cried because I had never seen the sky that color before. The colors were all wrong. They were purple and blue, and it shook our family to our core. After a moment of watching the explosion, we jumped in our car and drove away, questioning whether we should pick up our homeless neighbor who didn't have a car. We couldn't find him and we had to leave. Luckily, the explosion that day was contained. Richard, our neighbor who lives in a shed, lived. It turns out that this was a small explosion, and yet we could see it billowing from the sky from a half mile away. That night was traumatic for myself and the rest of the neighborhood. It scared us and it made us feel unsafe as a community. We always knew that Allen's Ave was a sad, ugly, broken place, but we didn't know it could possibly kill us. I can't express the pain I felt when I found out that Allen's Ave used to be beautiful beaches. I imagine the childhood my community and I could have had, the childhood that the kids in the community are now being robbed of. And you're talking about bringing in another facility that will exponentially increase the risks of living in a neighborhood that already suffers from asthma, lead poisoning, and traumatic experiences such as the one I've explained. A beautiful, predominantly Latinx and immigrant neighborhood. How can you in good conscience allow this to pass? How can you in good conscience put children in danger? Will you be willing to answer the community when the people are getting sicker and sicker from toxic waste? Will you be willing to answer to me when a disaster happens and I lose my parents? Will you? And maybe some of you don't care. Your neighborhood may not suffer the risks of explosions and contamination, because this racist society has made sure of that. But you can't escape climate change by living in an affluent neighborhood. Climate change will affect us all. There is nowhere to hide. Allowing this project to move forward seals your fate as well as ours. Be brave. Say what you have to say. I believe in you.